Wah, 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 wah. Welcome, 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 everyone. Welcome, everyone, to Monday Night Comic Book Talk. It should be called, it is, of course, called Monday Night Mark C. Comics Talk. On Clobberin times, doing a crappy that would go so, but no particular reason. I guess just to be annoying to even myself. Welcome, everyone who is here with us tonight for Clobberin Times, issue number 182 on YouTube, but 882 overall. And I'm pleased to see you all here tonight, all of my dear friends who have popped in early. I'm sure many other friends will pop in. Let me say some hellos here to some wonderful people who are already here, though. Arwen Avalon, beautiful lady. It is so great to see you. Thank you so much, my dear. It's lovely to see you tonight. Louise X Sparrow, lovely to see you as well. And look at this beautiful lady that popped. I haven't seen you in a while. The great Bionic Belly Button. Hey, Bionic. It's great to see you. That's man. Eric K. The great Eric K. is here as well. Yo, brother. That's pretty great, man. All these lovely ladies. It must be you, man. Sure as hell can't be me. It's got to be you, brother. The great Dr. Hercule Monkey is here. What's up, buddy? It's always a pleasure, sir. Who else be's here tonight? D-Bud Buddy. The Cabal Gathers. What's up, D-Bud Martin, my friend? Always a pleasure. The great Chris Persia, buddy. It is great to see you, sir. It is always honored to have you here, man. Stephen Thompson. Hey there. Great to see you. Let's see here. Let's see who else we have. I am just so tickled to see a Bionic here. Bionic, it's been a while. I hope you can come on and talk again with me soon. I mean, if you can. I know you're busy, a busy lady. Scrolling, Apollome's minion. Oh, Apollo, it is so lovely to see you, my dear, and I thank you for that picture that you're doing and that you sent a picture of to me. You are amazing. And we appreciate you here. And Pupper, of course. Hey, your Muslim uncle. Yes, Muslim uncle retro blasting. Love my retro blasting friends. Are they still going? I just remembered he was doing one tonight. I couldn't get over there. The great Pat S. J-Man, what's up, brother? Good to see you. The great Mark D with a C, buddy. Good to see you, buddy. Darth Haster. Hey there, man. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Let's see. I'm just going to get to the bottom of everything here. Make sure I got everyone. I hope if I miss anyone, shout out at me because I'm way behind in these in these. I have to stop the chat because I like to say hello to everyone just the way I am. Oh my goodness, your Muslim uncle with the 1999 super chat. You are too kind, sir. I can't, I don't know what to say, man. I'm still new at this getting a super chat game here. But your Muslim uncle says, my privilege to give a super chat to a great channel that's given me great companionship, knowledge, and entertainment. I'm embarrassed reading this stuff. You do that on purpose, aren't you, buddy? Can't wait for some classic FF cartoon streams with you, sir. Oh, yeah. Great idea. Prayers for the departed Mark C. He lives on. Thank you so much. We love our buddy Mark C. I was going to actually mention a little bit about him. So this is kind of like, by the way, tonight's kind of an open comic stream because I was too lazy to come up with a topic. Oh, they're still going. J-Man, thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Yeah, I love the retro blasting buddies, Michael and Melinda. Oh, the great Mark, the infinitely tired. What's up, brother? Man, you got to come on here and talk comics with me one week because I know you're infinitely tired, but you got to come hang out and talk comics with me one of these nights, man, because you know some stuff. You can put me to shame, I'm sure. The great Eric K for $5. Thank you so much, buddy. Clubby, it is all you. They must love your rock hard abs. They are actually orange rocks, and I am very proud of them. Go 13, badass. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Man, that's what. Thank you so, Eric K, brother. Dude, you're too kind, man. Thank you so much. Stephen Thompson. You were missed on Doomcons last night, but Raquel was wonderful as always. Yeah, and that was of course a great show. I definitely look. Hey, I don't have to be there. Raquel can handle it without me, and so could Doomcock, and he does a great show. I love Doomcock and all those wonderful people who were on there with him, and I love Raquel, and I'm glad she went on there and handled it. And but I thank you for that, Stephen. I really do appreciate the kind words, my friend. Pat S, buddy, I think I already said hello to you, but hello again, Pat S, bub. I think I got caught up there. I think I got caught up. If I didn't, someone let me know. But J-Man, by the way, I finally found a way to procure a viewing copy. And no, not in a bad way, of Dread, which I will be picking up tomorrow borrowing it from Blu-ray from a friend of mine because I don't have it. For those wondering, the movie Dread, one of the most beloved comic book adaptation films of them all, especially over the past 10, 15 years or whatever. I'm a big Judge Dredd fan, and therefore I'm one of the few people that hates that film. I've only saw it the one time in the theater. Back in, 2012 or something, Jay? I can't remember exactly the year. And there's so much love and talk about it, and people look at you like you're nuts I went nuts on that thing. When that came out, I was very upset. However, I understand most people love it. Well, you know what? I am not too big I am too big. That's a different story. I'm too large and take up too much space, I'll say, because, guys made of orange rocks. I appreciate that, J-Man, I appreciate that, buddy, but I was able to, I got a buddy of mine who has it. So I'm going to give it another chance. Almost 10 years later, you never know. I've changed my opinions on films before. Am I the only one who's seen a film maybe you didn't like that much before, and then later you liked it better? Maybe even vice versa sometimes. It happens to me. Oh, my goodness, the wonderful bionic belly button. You didn't. Oh, you're too kind, my dear. It is lovely to see you. For $20, thank you so much. Eric and Chris are excellent wrenches, but I'm here for your solid knowledge on a rocking personality. Rock hard. What now? Oop. That was Eric's words. I'm a big mushy pile of orange rocks. And in a tribute to my great buddy Mark D, he said, well, Mark D with a C is also great, but my great friend Mark C. I used John Byrne Thing art because he was the biggest John Byrne fan in the world outside of John Byrne himself, of course. I used to tease Mark with that all the time. Dude, nobody loves John Byrne more than you except John Byrne, of course. Thank you so much, Bionic. You were too kind. That is very sweet of you. And I don't know what to say there. But yes, J-Man, thank you. 2012. So you're looking at almost a decade since I've watched it. As I have said, I've changed my opinions on films before. There have been some films, but this is one I don't know if I've ever changed my feelings on one I hated so much that I would end up liking it, but I might be kinder to it on another viewing of it. I might not. You're going to get an honest opinion from me. That's the one thing. It's going to be honest. It may be, not what you want to hear, which is typical with me because I'm an opinionated son of a bitch. But all opinions are welcome here, of course. And but I'm going to give you mine straight up. But I also going to be honest. If I have to eat crow in any way and say, you know what? Hey, if I have to come out and say, no, I love it and think it's really great, I'll do it. But by the way, that will be embarrassing, given how I've spoken of the film. That'll be embarrassing, buddy, but I will do it. Now, there are other films that are so burned into my mind that I know I hate. That couldn't happen with Last Jedi. That couldn't happen with Man of Steel. It's not possible. And I don't think it could happen with Dredd, but it's more likely to happen with Dredd than those two movies. So we will see. I'm going to give it a shot. By the way, one show note, of course, since this is comics night after all. Wednesday night, This past Wednesday night, and I'm sorry I had to do it at a later hour. Thank you so much, your Muslim uncle. I appreciate that. Um, because I had to do it. Eric K is always going to come after me. I had to do it an hour later, but last Wednesday night, Flash and I counted down our all-time favorite top 25 TV shows. And as you know, just much with our had a great time. I know a lot of people couldn't make it because it was so late, but I had a great time doing it as always. We love doing that. I love Flash, and we always do a follow-up show because there's always the ones that killed you to leave off of your list. It didn't quite make the cut. The honorable mentions, if you will. And we're going to Steve Mitchum. What's up, bro? Good to see you, man. Always a pleasure, bro. Well, bionic belly button, if you the snuggling I can do. I'm good at that. I'm a snuggler. An orange pile, like I say, the lumpy rocks that the thing originally was, like it was all lumpy. There you go. Remember that? The original Kirby issues. But anyway, so Wednesday night, Flash and I'm hoping Flash will be here. If not, I'll do it myself. The follow-up show to a top 25 all-time favorite TV shows at the regular hour, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And, of course, we'll talk about the ones that got away. The shows that we love but barely missed our lists. And we'll talk about whatever we'd like to hear what a lot of your favorite TV shows are. Because a lot of you, of course, we're putting some in the chat. Oh, Purple Valkyrie. Oh, my goodness. Purple, what's up? It is wonderful to see you, Purple. The wonderful, beautiful Purple Valkyrie. Love, love, love seeing you. So that's Wednesday night. Flash and I will be doing that. If Flash can make it. Sometimes you can't make it. I'll do it myself. Tomorrow night, of course, Loki's Comic Book Roundtable. I don't know which channel it's going to be on. I think it may be on mine. I don't know. Oh, boy, I better check, shouldn't I? I'll check with the gang. But that's 7 p.m. Central, wherever it's going to be. I think it's on Loki's channel. Oh, Loki's got it this week, I think. All right, gotcha. I hope. I'll check. I'll make sure. But we love Loki and always appreciate Loki and the gang. It's going to be great fun, 7 p.m. Central. And then, of course, Thursdays, as always, unless you end up having to do some unscheduled work, the Global Geek Gang shall gather. And coming soon on Clobberin Times. This is my big coming soon thing. August is Jack Kirby month. It always has been for my show. The King of Comics. We love Jack Kirby here. One of the greatest geek moments of my entire life, of course, as I always go on about too much, is how much I love the King and the time the 2 times I got to meet and spend time with him were the greatest geek experiences of my life. And so I always celebrate his birth month with various shows, at least on my Monday night comic shows, will all be to do with the King of Comics, celebrating in my mind, the greatest creative force of the 20th century, and it's not even close. He created so much. He did so much. He was just a monster. The most extraordinary imagination, not even just in comics, because this guy inspired so much. And so I love Jack Kirby and the King of Comics. And on one other show note that I've been bombarding you with over the past few weeks, August the 8th, 1961, a date which will live in comic book infamy. The release of Fantastic Four, #1. And on August the 8th, 2021, here at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on the on Clobberin Times, I will gather my global gang of geeks on that fine Sunday, and we will celebrate issue #1 and all of our love for the world's greatest comic magazine, Marvel's first family, really Kirby's first family, because he created them. Phantom Outsider, what's up, buddy? And I am looking forward to that. I cannot wait. So it is going to be a lot of fun. I have zero topic tonight, and I apologize for that, everyone. It's when comics, as the new comics, by the way, are so horrible. All your topics have to be about old stuff. Whether you're me, or comics related things, obviously, because this is Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk. Captain is Deckard the Replicant Spock. Man, I have to get adjusted to your names every time, buddy. I appreciate you popping in. What's up, Cockney? Always a pleasure to see you, my friend. I love how your name stays. It is hilarious. Though. Oh, wow, look at that. Tomorrow's Bugs Bunny's 81st birthday. Wow. Yeah. What's up, Doc? I love Bugs Bunny. That's fantastic. I'll try to remember to mention that on the big that'd be something to mention, even on the comic book roundtable. It's not a comic book topic per se. Bugs, huh? Wow. Well, there's also one other, by the way, there is one other superhero, great superhero, that is also a co-creation of Jack Kirby that is celebrating an anniversary this year. That is, of course, Captain America, 80th anniversary. And as I have always said, Marvel Comics will not celebrate the Fantastic Four properly. They've already proven that, and they have really proven that they don't give a damn about Captain America. They will not celebrate him properly. They're disgraced. They have disgraced him. They don't love him. To hell with Marvel Comics. So screw them. The Global Geek Gang will also do I'm not sure if it's going to pick a special day like I've done with the Fantastic Four, but it will come a time. There will come a time this year where we also celebrate Captain America's 80th anniversary. We will do it in J-Man, boy, is that not the truth, buddy. It is so true. Captain America has been utterly demolished in comics. He's absolutely been disgraced. Kind of disgraced on the big screen if you think about what they did to him at the end of Endgame. And I loved some of those. I loved the way Chris Evans played him, and I loved some of those Cap films. And as Eric speaks the gospel, only Clobberin approved Fantastic Four will be known as Fantastic Four henceforth. It's more. All other Fantastic Four shall be mocked and shunned. Thank you so much. We'll call it Fantastic Less Four. Oh, Captain America is the very definition of the hero. D-Bud, I couldn't find them. I know you sent them because I remember seeing them, but I'll pull it out of my emails. I've got so many of those stupid emails, and I'm bad about checking my Yahoo email account, which I need to learn how to do better because I used to not get anything but spam on there. All of a sudden, I'm starting getting actual important emails, such as yours and others. So I do have them, though. I just got to pull them up and put them somewhere where I can find them better. But yes, D-Bud, and I'm sorry I had to leave yesterday. I didn't know you were on Jed's, but man, I tell you what, why don't you come on one night on a Monday night, one of these Monday nights with me and hang with me and show them off on there. What do you think of that? I mean, if you're able, if you have the time, of course. That's exact, Mr. J-Man. Thank you, sir. That was a very manipulative, terrible ending of Endgame that grabbed at people's heartstrings who don't understand Captain America. And you go, oh, how touching. He's dancing. He went back in time and then decided not to care about anything anymore. But he would never retire. And certainly not in the past where he's going to know every thing there is to know. That's going to happen. He's just not going to do anything about it. D-Bud, great dude. Hell, we'll do an Iron Man special. Since you have that Iron Man book. Because you apparently must be an Iron Man fan. Yes, hey, look, Bugs is a comic book. Yeah, he's had Bugs comics, but we all know he started in film. Animated film shorts. Not TV, of course, like something, animated film shorts. But hey, look, I love Bugs, so there you go. Love Bugs. And there's the thing, since I have some seasoned comics fans here. That's why I was decided just to make it an open comics talk tonight. Because again, sometimes you don't have to have a topic. Sometimes I like to have a topic, but I don't always need to have a topic. Sometimes I just like to sit here and talk to you guys for a little while. Because a lot of times when I have one or two, and like I say, and by the way, I always love it when Purple comes and hangs out with me, but it's so late for her. I hate to bug her. Don't worry, Purple. I'm still gonna bug you, and I want to get you to come on and hang and do something. We just don't like to nag her all the time about it because it's so late and stuff. But I love it when Purple hangs out with me on here and anyone else. When it's two of us, I love that. Or when it's Flash, Sometimes I like to come, but if I don't feel like bothering anybody to come on, I don't have a topic as an excuse to hook them, I'll just come on and just talk to you guys myself. But I also really love to do a topic where I get another person on and we bounce it all over the place and have a back and forth. Anything more than 2 or 3, gets to be a lot, except for the Global Geek Gang. Now that, of course. Well, I love it when you join me, Purple. Like I say, you can pop in right now if you feel like coming to talk, but I know it's late, so that's up to you. But the Global Geek Gang, there's a bunch of us. That's different. That's chaos, but it's fun chaos. For the most part, I love it when it's Raquel and myself. And by the way, you all were fantastic on Saturday night. What an amazing thing Saturday Night Star Trek is turning into. It's always been great. We always love it, and we get more and more people showing up now and participating. It is so much fun, and it's fun because of you guys. Now Raquel and I have talked in private and have great time. We could have fun talking all night and just to each other and stuff like that. But you guys really make it even more. That's a good point, Luis. This is X-Sparrow. Technically, it's early. It's early. But you guys make it so much fun. Marvel comics aren't even real comics anymore. Cap going on tour, meeting regional Captain America's Clobberin. Remember what happened to replacement Cap Roscoe? Well, now Bionic. It's going to be a while until we get to DS9, but we're going to get there. Like I say, we just started Next Generation, and man, it is tough getting that first season done. You know something, Cockney? That sounds like a challenge, dude. If you ever want to come on and talk more about it, those independent titles and stuff like that, my friend, one night, and again, it's night for me. I know it's late for you. One of these comics talks nights. If you're game, it would be cool. Well, see, there's the thing about that. That's exactly right, Mark. You don't have to have a topic to get it to find something to talk about. Not when you're geeks, Not when you're geeks. There's always something to talk about, isn't there? Because we all love this stuff. And yeah, man, just off the cuff. This is like being at the comic shop. You're hanging out and something pops up, whether you're bitching about it or going, "Hey, did you read? What do you mean you didn't read?" So. Oh my goodness. But either way, yeah, the Saturday Night Star Trek is just blown up. It is so much fun, and I love Raquel. If you're out there, Raquel, I love you so much. You're my wonderful first officer and my dear friend, and it is so much fun doing that show. And it's just fun doing all these shows and hanging out with you all. Like I said, Flash and I had a great time the other night. I wish I'd been able to do that show an hour earlier, out around the time, that I usually like to do it. But here we go. Bop. Oh, sorry. But Bionic, I tell you what, we will do these. Well, according to my good buddy Mark D with a C, we got a long way to go to do all of Trek like we're doing on Saturday nights. Maybe we should add an extra day of it. I'm just kidding. Raquel. There's an interesting question. What I realize is my favorite character. But you know what, J-Man? I tell you what, it is tough to nail that down. But I think sometime in the Bronze Age, it may be as early as was maybe 8 or 9 or 10 years old. Because Batman was my first love as a character because, Adam West Batman when I was 2 years old was on the air. little less than 2 years old, and I was running around. Batman was the first word I could say. Adam West Batman was my life. My two most important things in my life as a kid growing up, I was a very youngster in the 60s and in the 70s, was Batman TV show, Adam West, and Lost in Space. Those are the two most important things to me as a kid. Star Trek came much later for me than a lot of people. I was in my teens, but as a youngster. And, of course, there was also the Fantastic Four, be it the cartoon or some of the Power Records, the Fantastic Four book, what I learned in Book and Record, where I learned to read and write, really. Mark the Infinitely Tired. I could neither confirm or deny that. See my conspiracy theorist executive officer, Eric K., for that one. And I think that's probably, now that when you mention it, obviously it was with FF, but I think when I started buying Marvel 2-in-1, I already loved him. In fact, it may be, I'm wearing a shirt with the picture. No, I'm wearing a different shirt now. I'm one of my different FF shirts. I think it was an FF issue 164 or 5, whatever, when he's fighting the Hulk there's a Kirby cover. Then the next one, the next issue, he's fighting. This in St. Louis, and they even have him fighting the Hulk on the Arch in one of those issues. Somewhere up in there, or somewhere in Marvel 2-in-1, when I started buying it, and I started just realizing Ben was my favorite. So I don't know. Maybe it took a while. I love Batman. I loved Ben on the 60s Fantastic Four cartoon, but I think I started really loving Ben when I was getting the Power Records comics. So I don't know. I could have been 8, 9, something like that. It was, of course, in the middle of the Bronze Age. Jay, is when I just realized that Ben is just. I just fell in love with the character. And again, it's so easy because I love Superman so much then and now. Batman, loved Spider-Man, loved Cap, loved all these characters. Why Ben stood out the most to me, I don't know. I think maybe even a few years after that, it started, I've always felt like a misfit. I've always felt like, because Ben's whole tragic story of not fitting in and, or like physically not fitting in, I mean. Not socially so much, just being, the big kid and all that other kind of stuff. And, always fighting weight problems throughout my years of my life and all these other things. We did my friend Carlos and I last year did a whole show about Ben J. Grimm, the ever-loving blue-eyed thing. We did a stream last year about the thing that we had a real good time talking about his hero history and how much we love him. It's hard, but it's been over a year now. But I think it was just being kind of the misfit that, in a physical sense, it just was always the big kid and all that other kind of stuff. Ben never felt like he fit into anything. And that's the thing. His whole life he did. He was the big man on campus, but he was, everyone loved him. Don't worry about that, Steve, bro. Have a good workout, brother. Really appreciate seeing you here, buddy. So I don't know, Jay. It's a very interesting question. It's one I don't have all the answers to, even though you'd think I would. It's somewhere up in there, though, man, when I started really I hate when people talk about relating to characters. Sometimes it gets a little cliche. It gets a little silly and a little cheesy. But the difference is we live in a weird time where people can't relate to a character unless their whole life story is based on them and they look like them and they have the same life. And you can relate to a character because deep down, no matter what they look like and how they differ from you and how they look, they have a very human story. And I think Ben was the one example where the powers really came with a negative side. Yes, most other heroes looked like themselves with powers. So you could understand him wanting to be normal. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And there's so much to Ben that way. Oh, man. Just Joe. Jobber, what's up, buddy? Oh, man, dude, I appreciate that so much. Thank you, buddy. With a $20 super chat from Just Joe 47, my old buddy Jobber from the old BTR days. Here's a tip for all your podcasts I've listened to since the Blog Talk Radio days. I entered Man of Steel. I'm sorry, I know you said Steel, buddy. In the search, and Clobby's show popped up. Then I listened to the worst movie list with Flash, and I was hooked. Oh man, dude, we were hooked on YouTube, buddy, because we loved seeing you pop in there. Man, we always, when there was nothing, there was Jobber. As I say, when like what the Cap said, when there was nothing, they still had Bucky. Well, Flash and I always had Jobber. He always had our back. He would pop in, and even when we did my football shows, because Jobber's a fan of the Bears, and he's a hockey fan like Flash. Jobber, thank you for that, brother. I really appreciate it. And like I said, we always mean it when we say how much we appreciate you, buddy, and it's always cool to see you. We don't see a lot of our old Blog Talk Radio friends here that much, but we see them sometimes. So it always means so much to us, and I can't thank you enough, man. We appreciate you big time. Let's see. Yeah, it was like a reverse Hulk. I've always said that why I love Ben so much is that unlike, again, I always say this, and I say it so much, everyone's heard me say it. Unlike so many other characters in this type of fiction, when a person becomes a quote-unquote monster, they act like a monster. Well, in the early issues of the FF, as just again, I'm a broken record saying it, I realize, Ben walked that precipice. He was scary. He was angry. He almost tried to kill Reed a couple times, Reed for causing that stuff. Ben walked that abyss, but he didn't fall in. Ben did not fall in. He stayed true to himself, the good person that he is, the war hero, the jet pilot, the football player, all those things, the tough Yancey Streeter, and he, also true to his Jewish religion. He was Orthodox Jewish. He stayed true to himself in his morality, no matter how. And he led a really tough life before he got it all together and went to college and became a jet pilot and in World War II. That's all, he goes and then became one of the most, in monster form, became one of the most respected and beloved Marvel superheroes in the Marvel universe. And I remember there was of course. Yeah, Steven, there's a scene in there, and it's been so long. And by the way, it's been so long, and I really have to reread and review that again, but it's tough to find. I don't have Jelly Avengers anymore. It's tough to get the issues, to get reprints of it. But anyway, yeah, Batman kind of blew him off and said something about Ben. I mean, I don't know if he kind of scoffed at Ben or whatever, if I remember right. And Captain America just went off on Batman, telling dude, that Ben Grimm is one of the greatest men he knows. Captain America's in your corner. When Captain America's talking about how great you are, that says something. It says a lot. Stuart Mitchell, welcome. Good to see you, my friend. Let's see here. If you really one thing comic, make it Marvel 2 on annual volume 1. Yes, wasn't that annual number 7? Yeah, there you go. Favorite single issue. Of course, yeah, that's the one. Oh my God, dude, that's a great issue. There's a guy with an old, those old blogs. It's still up, where he has every single issue of Marvel 2 in 1. He reviews it, tells you gives a real nice synopsis of it. I love that blog. I go to it all the time. I tried to get the guy on my old show, but he was really nice about it. But he said he didn't like to go on podcasts. It was years ago, but I love that blog. If you love Ben Grimm, and if you love Marvel 2 in 1, it's that old school type of looking blog. Oh, you know what, J-Man? Cool. I love that thing, man. I look at it all the time. And he rates it, he gives rankings that, fair critiques of the issue, whether it was good or not and what have you. And a lot of details, even Notes if Clobberin Times was said it's Clobberin Times was said in the issue, or if Aunt Petunia was mentioned, and some of Ben's little things like that. So no, that Marvel 2-in-1 annual, the heart of Ben Grimm right there. That and of course, yeah, I mean, now this monster is more of a kind of more of a Reed Richards story, really. Interestingly enough, but what a great cover that one. I love FF number 51. But yeah, so I'm glad I'm not the only one that knows that site, Jay, man. That's a cool site. I like it. I wonder what that guy's up to. Does anyone remember that? Well, not remember. He's still doing this. The site. It's now called Super Team Family by Ross Pearsall. He started it doing these made up Photoshop covers of Batman teaming up with a bunch of other types of characters, like a bunch of Marvel characters. Then later he changed it to a Marvel 2-in-1, where it was Ben always teaming up with a bunch of DC characters and other types of comics characters and whatnot, and other genre characters. And then he just went ahead and changed it to a Super Team Family. And he just makes all these mock covers of crazy crossovers that never happened. Oh, FF79 is another great Ben Grimm issue, D-Bar Mutton says. Oh, my. Oh, my. And that was, of course, the height of Kirby and Sinnott art. Love it. Well, see, and there's the thing about that, J-Man. You know how a couple of months back I did my show about Batman Brave and the Bold, which I loved. I tell you what, if I can not necessarily make a deal with the devil, but if I can make a deal, if I could get 3 different shows, these are the shows I would want to make as far as comic book animated shows. I would want the DC Comics Presents counterpart to that show with Superman, same format, same exact style as Batman the Brave and the Bold, with Superman teaming up with other characters, just like DC Comics Presents. Then I would want Marvel to do a Marvel team up one in the same type of vein, instead of that terrible Ultimate Spider-Man, which I hated. And then I would want and of course I would want a Marvel 2-in-1 one just like that, all done by people that love the characters, on the same level with James Tucker and Michael Jelenic and all those guys who did Batman Brave and the Bold. I would want that. I just love that. I say, look, you guys can go do all the goofy movies you ever want. I don't care. If you gave me the right cartoons, I'd be happy. Look, I'm old. I got, just make me a little bit happy, and I won't bitch about your dumb movies anymore. Bomb was being dropped into Earth's core, and Ben had not only grabbed the cable, but had to pull it up hand over hand. It was like 3 miles of cable while being attacked. Love it. I'm sorry. He was teamed up with Black Widow, or he has refused to her Witter lady. Yep. Hell, that's the only episode I like. Mark Davis, he's talking about the best episode of Luke Cage on Netflix was the one where he finally teamed up with Iron Fist. Man, that was great. That was the show I wanted to see, a Power Man and Iron Fist show. So for one episode, I almost kind of enjoyed it because I slogged through all those crappy Netflix shows. The only one I loved being Daredevil. That's just me, of course. I'm sure, opinions vary. But I love that. And now we're getting a Moon Knight show, and I'm like, good casting. Oscar Isaacs and all that stuff is a good actor, but man, I just really have to wonder. I'll watch it. I'm a dope. I'll watch anything. Yeah, J-Man, but especially that second season of Iron Fist, just what a shame. What a waste, because I really love Daredevil. You know. Well, you know what, Chris? I have to agree with you there. I didn't like the Jessica Jones show that much, but David Tennant was fantastic. But I was waiting for them to call him Purple Man one time, and they didn't do it. Remember when he almost turned purple for a split second because he took that drug in that last episode? I'm going, oh my God, he's going to turn purple. No, he didn't. But he was brilliant. Yeah, I mean, Latino Slant. Paulie, what's up, bro? The great Latino Slant is here, folks. Hey, man. Good to see you there, bro. As always, buddy. Good to see you. You know, but Daredevil, especially the first two seasons, look, I love the first season, but, you know, I still got that comic book geek in me, so as Charlie Cox, I think, is great. I was getting a little bit annoyed with the ninja outfit. I mean, I never was the biggest. I liked Daredevil Man Without Fear. It wasn't my favorite Miller Daredevil or anything. But the ninja outfit for, like, it could have been a couple of episodes. We didn't get to see him in anything close to a red Daredevil outfit until the last episode. But the show's still great. I'm just being a friggin' geek, man. That's what I am, you know? And then the second season I thought was great. I'm not even a Punisher guy. I know. It's sacrilege. Not the biggest Punisher fan. As the Tick once said on his great cartoon of that character Bloodshot, was it called Big Shot? The Punisher parody. The Tick once said, guns and superheroes don't mix. Love it. I love that episode, by the way. Tick was hilarious. But, yeah, you know, I'm going all over the place. But Daredevil, man, I tell you what, Bernthal is brilliant as Frank Castle. And those first 4 or 5 episodes of season 2 are like, they can be, you can watch them as like one, like, great movie. Yes, he did have that dumb ninja outfit in Trial of Incredible Hulk. It's true. But they didn't really steal from that so much as they stole from, you know. Comics Artist Pro Secrets? Is that really you, Mr. Ethan Van Sciver? You love SJWs? Well, someone has to love SJWs, sir. And I love you because I'm a big fan of yours. Now, the Trial of the Incredible Hulk, J-Man, you remember that? That was Rex Smith, who later played Street Hawk. Okay. And he remember he had his eyes covered. And, you know, I'm very critical of Stan Lee here sometimes, some of the things he's done, but he kind of pointed out to the producers of the show, or so the legend goes. He said, you know, you have Daredevil's eyes covered. And it was said, and by the way, I know you're not really Ethan Van Sciver. Don't get me wrong. I know you're not. He said, hey, there, poor life form. Stan told him, so, you know, when they told Stan, yeah, but Daredevil's blind, he said, yeah, but no one's supposed to know that. Right. No one's supposed to know that Daredevil doesn't need to see. Oh, boy. That was pretty bad stuff. Bionic. Jane was a prettier Punisher. Yeah, I did not like the Netflix Punisher show at all. I like Bernthal, but I don't like the show. I didn't like either season, really, especially that first season. I thought it was terrible, to be honest with you. I look, those Marvel Netflix shows, I'm so ridiculous. I watched them all until that Comics Artist Pro Secrets. I hate DC Rebirth. Well, I hate it too. So there we go. We're on the same page. Thomas Jane in the Punisher movie looked like Christopher Levin. Yeah, I didn't watch that. Again, not a Punisher guy. I don't hate him or anything. I hate Wally West. Well, if you're just coming in there saying you hate things and you have nothing to add, I'm going to go ahead and say You might be a spam. You might be a troller. They're comic artists, pro secrets. But that's okay. It's okay to hate Wally West. You're not going to start talking about Wally West now. I didn't think he ever should be Flash because I'm a Barry guy. But hey. Anyway. I'm just kidding with you there, comics artists, pro secrets. You can hate anything you want around here. It is a free stream. And if you hate it, say it. If you love it, say it. I say. All in good fun here. But, Punisher's really kind of just a ripoff of Mac Bolan, the Executioner. I mean, a blatant ripoff of that character, to be honest. But does anyone remember when Punisher used to use mercy bullets in Marvel, the early Marvel Comics appearances? Jay, I'm not sure. I don't know if I sat all the way through that Dolph Lundgren film. A lot of blind people cover their eyes because they are light sensitive, not just. Well, yeah, I know, but Matt Murdock never did. I mean, he wore thick glasses when he was in his guise as Matt Murdock. But when he was Daredevil, he never ran around with his eyes covered in the comics until what was it? Was it until that Miller? Man Without Fear. Anyway. Okay, comics artists, pro secrets. I Am Not Starfire is an amazing comic. Yes, there we go. We got one vote for I Am Not Starfire, everyone. I know now everyone's going to rush out and buy it on your recommendation. I am the real comics artist, pro secrets. I hate Doomsday Clock and I hate Nightwing. Well, there you go. Don't engage in Phantom Outsider, just throwing stuff out there. Rick Grayson is better. Okay. Captain, in my opinion, Born Again, which ran for 7 issues and of course later was compiled by, of course, Miller and Mazzucchelli, is easily the greatest work Miller's ever done. It's probably my favorite all-time Daredevil story of the later Daredevil. Bionic, I'm sure you could find it somewhere. Now, Just Joe asks, well, there's a good question for the audience there. Am I the only one who actually liked Punisher Warzone? I presume you mean the movie and not the comic book. Oh, yeah, seriously, I thought Stevenson was pretty good as Frank. Again, I never watched it. But I would speculate you're not, Jobber, because I've heard people say they do like that one, and I've heard some Punisher fans like it. Well, look, here I thought Bionic was my pal. But you're going to find that comic and send it to me. I thought we were tight. I thought we were buddies. I thought we were pals, Bionic. Oh my goodness. That's low. Heroes of Crisis Masterpiece. You crack me up, comics artist, pro secrets. Please, you can put any joke you want in there, if it makes you happy. I don't know if that's expected to elicit any other response than a laugh, but it's cool. It's not like real trolling like I saw yesterday from my buddy Bolstrek. What happened to my friend, our good buddy, the great Bolstrek, yesterday was absolutely horrific. I do hate deconstructionism. At the time, I didn't hate it, but not only that, it's still a great story, and it's not deconstructionism. If anything, it was reconstructionism when it comes to Matt Murdock, because it was a redemption story, and it was a darker take, like all of Miller's Daredevils. Stephen mentioned, but no, it was not deconstructionism. Not Born Again. Whoever hates Captain Marvel is an awful person. Is a awful person. Okay. Well, I'm with you there because I love Captain Marvel. He says Shazam from Billy Batson. He turns into Captain Marvel. Oh, and Marvel, the hero of the Kree. I love those. So, yeah, I'm with you there. I love Rick Grayson so much. Okay. Rick Grayson? Well, yes, Bionic yesterday. It was a horrible, malicious attack, as Chris says in his chat. When he was doing his first live stream, he'd done it in about a year. It was horrific. But he has a great channel. I've been a big fan of his channel for years. And it was terrible. It was absolutely filthy, disgusting. Some of the stuff they put in that chat, and they were just putting it in big caps from a whole bunch of idiots. I can't even, not only can I not repeat, I can't even in code try to give you an idea of some of those things. I wouldn't even do that. I wouldn't even say, fill in, like an alternate explanation to get you to where you need to be to know what they put in there. That's how bad it was. Mark Lerseth, good to see you. It's not deconstruction because he suffered a loss like many heroes do. And then he got it all back and was redeemed and got even stronger from it at the end. It's clear. It is absolutely in no way deconstruction. It's simply giving him a darker tone to a character, and but characters in hero fiction always get knocked down before they get back up. And it was, they really came after him, and he really got attacked and assaulted because he's more vulnerable than most heroes. But he rose back from it and he won. It's a redemption story if anything else. So it's not deconstruction. Oh, really, D-Bud? Okay. Well, there you go. But, anyway, what else we got going on here? Yeah. Yep. What are we seeing here? I will mark your words, Captain, but I'm not seeing them. I must have missed what you guys were talking about because I can't see. I'm not seeing the chat all the time there. But let's see when I get that book. Oh yeah. I have to believe that my friend Bionic would never send me such a thing. But you know what? I love Bionic so much that if she did, it would be fine. I would forgive her for sending me such a trouble. Oh. All right. Now, what I will ask you all is I'll tell you what, I'm going to ask you all a question. What are some topics for future shows? Now, bear in mind, because a lot of you, my friends here, know me. I don't like modern crap. I like dealing with the classics and the older stuff, and certain things I don't like or certain things I haven't read. And this is Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk. Mark C and I had planned so many different comics that we wanted to talk about. We wanted to review. We talked for a while. We were getting together to talk. We were going to do Simonson's Thor run, for example. I mean, comics artist pro secrets. If you're having fun doing that, you're not saying anything intelligent or interesting. You're not, you just. I think you think you're funny. I mean, it's fine, but after a while, just kind of, whatever. I might just bounce you. What do you think of that? No, like I said, Brian, we haven't talked X-Men again. We had all these different plans. Have you already covered the X-Men comics, the original? I just bought a compilation of Rogue versus. Okay, oh really? Cool. Um, no. Again, that was another thing. There were a couple of X-Men sagas we were going to review. In addition to some of the things I wanted to do were these. We were going to do he really wanted to do the Thor Simonson's Thor run. Oh. Hey, Vlad Steven, what's up, bro? Good to see you. Always a pleasure, bro. Tomorrow night on the Comics Roundtable, we shall have fun. I'm not sure where we're. Oh, yeah, I know he's a fake. I was teasing him, and we know, yeah, he's definitely a fake. And I don't care if he says silly stuff. It's like, whatever. But it's just after a while, I might just want to bounce him. Bounce him, everyone. Okay, because you're not interested in comics artist pro secrets. I mean, you're not saying anything evil, but I mean, you're just saying shit that's like, okay. Even if these were your actual real opinions, no one would care. But I guess I could bounce you. What are you saying? Bounce? Everyone? What do you think? Do we bounce the troll? I mean, it's not like evil trolling or anything. It's just kind of goofy. I mean, my friends tease me worse than this, but it's like, I don't know where you get any particular fun doing it. I mean, is it fun? Is it? Because, on BTR, and I don't know if you remember in this job, I used to get these, when people would call and do like, he's not hurting anything. If you're having fun, go for it. Unless enough of you want me to bounce him, I don't know. He wants to be bounced. Okay, in that case, I'm not doing it. Thank you, Stephen. But we used to get people that would call in. It was a different type of a system. You didn't have the chat room, but no one really came to chat that much. A little bit, they would troll, but they would actually call you because it was done with phone numbers. Well, Dark thinks he's funny, so there you go. It's fine with me. Man, it doesn't bother me. So they would call, right? And when they would mess with me, if we were really bored one night, we would actually give them ratings. I would rate them on their trolliness if they did any good. Oh, yeah. That was a long time ago now, Jobber. That's right. I hated that horrible movie, Mad Maxine, Furioso Road. Wow, that movie was, I don't know how anyone liked that thing. Yeah, we did argue about that one. There you go. Nah, Dark, that's cool. Like I say, if he's having fun, not hurting anybody, what the hell? Well, Bionic, it's funny you mentioned that. Last year, I think it was maybe around September or something like that, I did a whole show about the history of Star Trek comic books. So, yes, I did cover the history. If we did it well or not, I guess that's for anyone else to judge. But I do have a stream up for that. Yes. Have you covered Star Trek comics? They released the 5th year of TOS a few months ago. Yes, Star Trek Year 5 is by IDW right now, yes. And we covered basically from the beginnings. Yeah, if you're gonna. Oh, wait a minute now. All right, now. So, Chris Persia, do you think he and Mark, you think he went over the P line? Stephen, Yes, like I said, I did the history of Star Trek comics. I haven't covered the Babylon 5 comics. There weren't many of them, and I don't have all of them anymore. But I actually plan on getting them and reading them one of these days for sure. So bounce. What do you think, Bionic? Your experience with this sort of thing. All right, you're out of here. Yeah, I'm blocking you. You're blocked, bitch. At least I think I did. An error occurred. Try refreshing the page. Well, I don't know if it's letting me block or not, but did it work? Because my screen saying it didn't work. I think it worked. I mean, look, I don't mind the silly crap. I mean, if the guy's having a fun time saying silly shit, whatever. I don't even know what he gets out of it. I mean, but fine. But when you're gonna say shit like that, oh, thanks, Eric. Okay. Well, you probably got him before I did. I hope you blocked his ass. Because I clicked on it and said block, and then it said error refreshes your page or something. I don't know. Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of EVS and all that stuff, but I'm sure he wouldn't pop in here, and if he did, he'd be treated with respect. J-Man. Yeah, look, I don't get it either. I don't know what you're getting out of it. I mean, I don't know. And it's not like until he started he started throwing that little thing out there that he just did that crossed the line. Because before he was just making stupid cracks about comic books. And then he crossed that, and I'm going to say the word, that line where he was saying things about kids. Let's put it like that. And you know what, dude? That makes you a scumbag. If you want to be silly, I don't care. Even if I don't care if you're joking or not, you're doing that in the chat that's about comics. We're here to talk comics and have a good, if you're making cracks about comic books and then I don't care. You're going to put crap in there like that. And again, as I was talking about earlier, Bolstrek, what was done in his chat was so horrific and so disgusting yesterday. I've never seen it, and I've seen some bad stuff. Of course, my good buddy Noel with Hard Zone, he's put up with a lot of that kind of crap. I don't really know what you get out of it when you're just like doing the silly stuff he was doing, but it was innocuous till he, and again, that's why he crossed the line. See, that's why he said that shit. All right, Mark D with the C, got you, brother. Oh yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. Yeah, never. There's no way it was EVS. Because but it was made to, again, it's a pretty messed up little punk that has to make his account look similar to EVS's account. We had a troll in here, Pat S, if you didn't see it, and then he was just saying stupid stuff like I love SCWs, and because you get it, because SCWs, because he's EVS doesn't like SCWs. And he was saying how great all these crappy new comics were and how bad. I hate Wally West. Innocuous, silly shit. Then he said something that was a little. He went across the line. But Chris, the crap that they do to Noel and what they did to Bolstrek yesterday, though, as I've said, and it was big in caps. And I don't know how long. How long did that last, Chris? Thank you, Bionic. I appreciate you. How long did that last, Chris? Well, I don't remember, but it went on for a long time. And as I said earlier, the things that they were putting in his chat, he was just having a stream about 40 minutes. Wow, that long. He was having a stream. They did talk a little bit about the new Doctor Who trailer, and they're all Doctor Who fans, and they all have Doctor Who related channels for the most part. He had my buddy Dan from the Space Vic. He had another good dude, Ian, the Mega Geek. Great guys. Bulls Trek. I love Bulls Trek. My buddy Noel from TARDIS Zone. I think later he had my good old buddy Proby and some others. And the things that we're putting in bold caps over and over again running through the chat are things I can't even tell you in code here. Like if I'm going to say, he said, and came up with another thing for it, I couldn't even do that. That's how bad it was. And it was just filthy, disgusting, horrible crap. All because the guy is critical of Doctor Who. He doesn't like what they've done to Doctor Who, and neither do I, neither does Noel, neither does Ian, neither does Dan. And this piece of drivel, this piece of garbage has nothing better to do. These scumbags, that again, they weren't even doing like this dope we had tonight, just making silly jokes, saying horrible crap over and over again because they think it's going to get his stream taken down, I guess. And saying... interestingly enough, and these people, they're saying all the disgusting things that their ilk accuses, Bulls Trek and others of. Yeah. So, and I'm seeing that stuff, and yeah, we know they're trolls and they're bots and all, whatever the hell they are. It's just disgusting. Absolutely, Captain. I absolutely appreciate that. Love wrenches. Love our friend. I appreciate you so much, Eric and Chris and Steve and all my other friends who are wrenching there for us. Yeah, Fat Stevens had a lot of run-ins. I mean, he gets a lot of that crap way more than I never really get it that much. But I don't do anything. I don't. As controversial as I get, is I say I don't like something sometimes. I imagine he's probably removed if he hasn't removed the whole stream, Chris, he's probably removed the chat from the playback because I mean, you can't put that up there. Anyway, I felt bad for him. I'm a big fan of Bulls Trek. He's got great videos. It's the first time he's done a stream in about a year. They were reviewing Loki. They did talk a little bit at the beginning about the Doctor Who panel from Comic-Con. They were reacting to that a little bit. And they don't deserve that kind of crap. It's disgusting. Absolutely, J-Man. I don't think the Doctor would accept these trolls' behavior. They claim to be Doctor Who fans, but miss the point what makes the Doctor a great character. Well, yeah, absolutely. So did Chris Chibi. Jack's mama. Oh, it's lovely to see you, my dear. Thank you for popping in, and I hope you are doing well, and I hope Jack is doing well. Love to you and your family. If you're on, and this is, of course, everyone and family member of the great Mark C., our good buddy. So, love you. Great to see you, my dear. Thank you for popping in. We appreciate you. Dadman, what's up, bud? Dadman walking 55. Good to see you, brother. So, I'm going to, again, as I said, and I was talking about Mark earlier, actually, Jackson Momo, all these different shows we wanted to review a lot of comics, as we did last year. There were a lot of runs on series that we wanted to review. And obviously we get a chance. There's so many that if anyone has, I'll make it easier because any old topic about comics you could, and if you have any idea for a topic, now's the night, since it's open comics talk here on Mark C. Comics Talk. And if you have an idea for a topic you can throw at me, I will consider it. And I will consider it. And and I'm looking for some ideas of. See, it's going to be tougher for me to review a comic right now or a series. I'm going to do it, by the way, because last week, by the way, I was privileged to be on the channel, my great friend Nick Weiser's channel, MJ1 Media. Hey there, great to see you. Thank you for popping in, my friend. I was on Nick Weiser's channel. We reviewed Batman: The Long Halloween Part 1, the current DC animated film, together on his channel, and we will be reviewing Part 2 after we get the chance to see that. But I want to. It's tough to find. I could just do like a review where I review a comic book by myself, but it's kind of fun to have someone bounce off of. Okay, well, there's suggestions by your must a watch party. I've never done any watch parties. I'd have to figure out how. But it's not a bad idea. I mean, I guess we're talking cartoons. I hope we're talking cartoons there, buddy. I don't know if I want to watch the movies that bad again, but yeah, the animated show, especially the second season of the '90s Fantastic Four cartoon, which I love. But that is a good idea, though. Your muscle uncle, thank you, brother. Is there a comic series you think I should review? Pat S says, "I love to hear war stories about how you lost or destroyed a great comic, or the one that got away. Your white whale comic that you never got action figure." Yeah, there's a good one. I like that one. Thank you, Pat S. That's a good one there. Oh, well, thank you, MJ1 Media, and happy birthday to that friend of yours. Yeah, I like that idea a lot. Phantom Outsider, that's a plan I've been wanting to do for a while. I might revisit some of those old DC animated films while doing some new ones. Do you have any anime and manga? I'm starting to watch Avatar and heard great things about Berserker. I'm one of those. My son is big into that. My daughter's big into that. And so Bionic, but I have not watched much. Here and there, a little bit. We had our buddy Golgo 13 in here earlier. He's I've watched that for a while. Oh, I see you there, Captain. I'll be right there. First of all, My Hero Academia. I've been getting that suggestion a lot, Stephen. And I think I saw toys of that the other day when I went to the Walmart. So I don't know. They tell me I would like it. I'm not a big manga person or an anime person, but I respect it. And who knows? Electra Assassin. I have not read that since the 80s. Deckard. I need to read it again. I remember when I met Frank Miller in like '86 or something. It was right when that comic came out. We were talking about his first couple issues of Dark Knight Returns were out. Only a couple issues of that were out, and he was asking us. He was kind of more interested in what we thought about Electra Assassin and those crazy, Bill Sienkiewicz covers and art. So I'd have to go back and revisit that, and that's a good idea. Good idea. Let's see here. Or what was the first comic book you remember getting or reading? Wow, Phantom Outsider. I know so many friends who can tell me their first comic. I'm fuzzy on my first one, but I think so. J-Man, Starman. Now, you mean the comic book Starman? And which one? There are quite a few. I don't think you mean the movie or the TV show. So I'm going to go, you mean comic book. And you mean the Jack Knight one from the 90s by James Robertson? Because there was actually a series before that. There was a different Starman. They're like, of course, there's the original Golden Age Starman as well. There are a lot of Starman. The Jack Knight series. Gotcha. uh, if we have a watch party, I'll bring my TAG, I guess, tag, and some 80 swatches I still have. And thanks for anytime, my brother. We appreciate you, Jack. Pat S. I saw the word Jack Knight. Well, let's see here. Bop, bop, bop. I did read I read some of the Jack Knight series of James Robinson. A lot of my friends love it, and I never read them all. And but a lot of that's a very well respected and very well loved series. Yeah, there's a lot of Starmen out there, Mark. You're right. A new Cowboy Bebop? Oh, I hope not. I mean, I know a lot of people love the real deal. I've watched a little of it. Wow, D-Bud. I'm always impressed with people who can remember their first comic book. I mean, not every, especially if you're a comics, collector or whatever. Look, I'm always impressed with you guys who can remember your first comic because I'm not. Man. J-Man, I only played D&D one time. I got invited over to a friend's house, and then I think later I played one of those superhero role-playing games, so I didn't get to play those much. In the 80s, I was always working I was working in the comics business, and a lot of my friends played the games, and I didn't do it that much. I must admit, I played arcade games. And by the way, much to my chagrin, because I did go a couple times. I played one of those DC Heroes games, though, I think. And I have some gaming modules, of course, for collecting purposes, because it's but no, Bionic, I've never, my comic collection is buried right now in a room. But let's see, Sturbich, could you guys please tell me the original comic where Judge Dredd meets the four dark judges? Read it when I was well, you can get that. You can get that in the Judge Death album. The old Titan albums, and even if you can't find those, that first story, which was Judge Death, for in 2008, originally, Stuart, that Judge Dredd comic book took place in 2080 magazine in 8-page increments. And Brian Boland did the art on the first one, which John Wagner wrote it. But I first saw it in a Titan album, which was a lot of reprints. I will unearth it and take pictures one of these days, Bionic. It's not as big as a collection as it used to be. It's dwindled over the years. Marshall Lewis, hello there. Welcome. Good to see you. So yes, they compiled the first Judge Death story in a 2-part. I think it was either 2 or 3-part, maybe 2-part album reprints in the early. I first got those in the early '80s in America. They over here. It was called Judge Death and then Judge Death 2. Now there are other ways to get the story. They've been reprinted multiple times. But yes, that story was. It was that was when Judge Death first appeared with the Judge Fire, Judge Mortis, Judge. Oh, well, they have 4, but forgetting their damn names now. Eric K. Enjoy dinner, my friend. Wow, X-Men #1. Now, were you talking about X-Men #1 as in the Jim Lee X-Men #1 from the '90s, MJ1? I got my first book at Packard auction. It was Avengers '95. Whoa, was this somewhere in the Kree Skrull War, dude? Was that Neil Adams? I recognized Thor and Cap and Iron Man for the '60s. They mentioned FF, who I knew from Hanna-Barbera tunes. No idea who the Inhumans. Oh, the Inhumans, that was Kree Skrull War. Neil Adams, dude. That's about as good as it gets, dude. But yeah, they got a lot of Judge Dredd reprints and now out there, Stuart. I recommend. I mean, especially if you get the Judge Dredd. Judge Caligula was the first one I read. Ah, cool. Well, I love the Kree Skrull War. Oh, wow. So you got Uncanny X-Men #1. That was your first one? Wow. Oh, got it. I got it. Oh, I got you. Well, that's fantastic. MJ Media, great. I just didn't know if you were talking more recent. I try not to date anyone, try to say, they're too old. So I was going with it. You might not be old enough. You never know, like old like me. But even I'm not old enough to have bought that one off the rack. Uncanny X-Men #1, even though I existed. Hey, Ted Millich, good to see you. Good to see you there. Thanks for popping in. J-Man says, I can't remember my first comic. I don't even remember the last comic I bought, and that was last Tuesday. The only reason I can remember the last comic I bought, buddy, is because it was the first comic. It was the first comic I bought in nearly a year. My first trip to a comic shop in nearly a year, and that would have been unheard of for me not too long ago. JLA, wow. Tale of A. Number 64, Red Tornado. My intro to JS of A. Wow, that was one of the JLA JSA crossovers. Is that the one with T.O. Morrow created the was that the first Red Tornado story? I'm bad with issue numbers, but I love Red Tornado. MJ1 Media. Sadly, my dad has it, or last time I checked, he did. He might have given it away over the years. Oh, I got you. That we've all have their comics tragedies. I'll tell you that much. Judge Dredd, the complete case files are good. They reprint the originals, I think. I had the first 5-6 volumes. Excellent. J-Man, I love them. I still have all of my old Titan albums. When I call them Titan albums, folks, they are they're not exactly like your normal trade paperbacks. They're more of a thinner, similar format to the Marvel graphic novels of the past of the 80s. In a similar format to that. Titan, of course, reprinted those, and many others. They did a lot of the 2000 AD characters. They did Judge Dredd, of course, ABC Warriors, Rogue Trooper, Nemesis, Robo Hunter. I bought all those. I got so hooked on Judge Dredd. This is the early 80s when I didn't even want to read it. I've told the story before. My boss at the comic shop that I was running for him, he ordered these albums on spec, and all I cared about at the time, I was a dumb kid, like 17, 18 years old. All I wanted was superheroes. And he says, take this and read it. And tell customers about them. I don't want to do that. But I did. I took home Judge Caligula Volume 1 and couldn't put it down. And then I got the second one, and again, I started buying all of them. And because I was so hooked on Judge Dredd, I bought the other 2080. But later I ended up buying a bunch of actual issues of 2080, which was a British weekly newspaper print, publication. But I found a guy with a bunch of issues here in the States and bought tons of them. And I love Judge Dredd. I love 2080. But I bought Rogue Trooper. Like I said, I bought Nemesis. I bought Robo Hunter. Even ABC Warriors. Clobberin, if you ever got hitched again, would you have a comic-themed wedding? Melinda could make you a Superboy groom's cake. Yes, you could. First of all, no one would ever marry this big blob of garbage. So that's out of the question. Happening. If I did, yes, I would. But no, I never have to worry about that. I'll never be married again. Too old for that. Too a lot of things for that. But that's an interesting question. I'll have to ponder that. That's true. I was forced to read Judge Dredd for work, and man, and then about a few years later, they started reprinting him in a color comic. For Eagle Comics, started reprinting him. I remember that great Bolin cover. So yeah, Judge Dredd really kind of took off. He was getting popular, and that's where he just exploded right there. I even have a couple of those old Judge Dredd British annuals. I don't know, they're floating around somewhere. You like the Doctor Who annuals and all the different like TV show annuals. Those are like the hardcover like storybook thingies. And that's the funny thing. Yeah, exactly, Ted. I hear you there. That's the funny thing, though. Um, and they had all these different in the Judge Dredd annual. They had all these different. Well, Spider-Man 151, dude. Wow, Steve mentioned that. That's amazing. You remember that? Cool. They had these activity things. And I'll never forget this. It was in one of the Judge Dredd British annuals. It had just a bunch of what they did is they took they did it in a funny way. They pasted a Judge Dredd helmet over the face of many actors, saying, "Who would play Judge Dredd in a movie? Who would you want to play Judge Dredd in a movie?" Remember, this is a good 15 odd years or close before the Stallone film of the 1995, whatever it was, the Judge Dredd film. And so and they had all these faces of popular actors of the day. This was not, I think it was the 1981 annual, 1982 annual. I can't remember what it was. I have it somewhere, probably still buried somewhere. Anyway, and on that page, it was like, who do you want to play Judge Dredd? And yes, they had one on Sylvester Stallone. And of all the ones, that one looked the goofiest. But that was stuck in my mind, in my head, when I first read in Starlog, if that was where, and maybe in Starlog. When I first read in Starlog that Sylvester Stallone was going to play Judge Dredd, I'm like, I freaked out. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is going to be horrible. And I'm sorry, the Stallone Judge Dredd movie is pretty bad. He's a terrible casting. He's terrible. Punk Waddle, hello there. Good to see you. But the look of the film, it looks like Mega City 1. The Lawgiver looks great. I mean, the Lawmaster looks great. The Lawgiver looks great. His uniform looks great. The ABC Warrior looked pretty good. The Angel Gang looked pretty good for the Curse of Earth bit. The rest of it was a poopy story kind of. I mean, the story was all right, but it's just totally bad characterization. It's just such a bad casting. And I love Sylvester Stallone, but it was just not right. And then, of course, after that, you got Dredd. And my theory's always been, Carl Urban is a great casting, and he doesn't take his helmet off, and that's cool. But the movie has really nothing to do with the Dredd comic other than that, and I don't like the movie. But we'll see if I change my mind. Oh, hell, I don't have near the Ben Grimm collection that Mr. Mark D with a C has. And we got a guy on Twitter that I'm friendly with who has the greatest collection of Ben Grimm figures ever. Let's see here. Look, I hear you, Pat S., buddy. Yeah, I didn't like either movie, really, even though there were things to like. But I think everyone really who didn't like the Stallone movie just liked the Dredd movie because it wasn't as silly. I don't know. It was just to me, it was just a gruesome shoot 'em up, though. The Dredd one. It was a cheesy, as a Stallone movie film is. I still enjoy it. I don't know too much about the original comics, to be honest, MJ Media. Well, I hear you there. And that helps. That really does help. No question about it. Phoenix Argus. Hello there, sir. Good to see you. I am the lawyer. J-Man, you think it's we should watch both movies and talk about them at the same time? What do you think of that? I don't have either one of them, but I know we can get our heads on. I know you probably have them. There's a man with a collection and a bunch of cool stuff right there, J-Man. And everyone, if you have not yet, there's a description in a link in my description below beneath you to many wonderful channels to subscribe to. And J-Man's is among them. He has a great channel. He has a great channel. He talks He geeks out like I do, and he loves his stuff, and he has a great panel and stuff and everything. And you got to go over there and check it out, and you have to go. Please go support his channel and subscribe. And he's also got a really cool background that I'm envious of because it's got a lot of cool figures and stuff back there. I'm behind an avatar because I don't have anything set up for any kind of a cool background. Plus, you don't want to see my ugly mug anyway. I know I don't. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll refresh myself on the first one so we could cover both. Well, J-Man, I hear that, man. No, I hear you on that one. You own it. You at least like to buy it. There you go. The wonderful Raquel Briggs, my first officer. I love you, number one. It's so good to see you. J-Man, again, there won't be a necessity, but we can talk about that movie as well. So maybe I'll try to watch it also. Agreed. Number one, we have a great crowd here tonight. They're fantastic. I mean, listen to me yammer on about nothing in particular. So yeah, let's see here. Kal-El, 48. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, J-Man, I tell you what, I'll probably have it watched by the next day or two. So if you want to make it like let me know when you have the time, and I can move to the schedule to anything, you know. And so because I know you work, man. I know you're a busy man and you have commitments and stuff like that. So I'll move like my time frame up to a different hour, whatever we have to do. Because I'm looking forward to hanging with you, talking about that, buddy. Let's see. So, what are some of? Let's see. And by the way, Mark D with my buddy Mark D with a C, Bionic, has time. Let's see. When we get done with Next Generation. Wow, Deep Space Nine. We'll have to do the Next Generation movies, and then there'll be Deep Space Nine. So. Yeah, that's going to take some time there. Bionic, but I'll definitely, keep you posted on that. What's that? Okay, Jay, man, thanks for being there, brother. Always appreciate you, man. Phoenix? Oh, that's all right, man. No harm. That was a lot of stuff there. That was a lot of info and stuff, I'll tell you that. Let's see. The man lives in a oh, what stream is that? Oh, yeah, there you go. The stream, yeah. I see what you're saying there. Chris, yeah, the stream where Mark D with the C showed off is an extraordinary collection. That was amazing. No, I mean, I'm just one of them. I mean, that man has it all. He's a great dude too, and a great friend. So what are some other comics? By the way, what is the name of that book again? Phoenix Argus. I actually forget the actual name of the book now. But anyway. Are there other comics that you'd like to have reviewed? I mean, does anyone have any? I know Cottney mentioned Electra Assassin. That's one. I think Nick and I might review Batman the Long Halloween soon. That's one probably coming up. Because we reviewed part one of the animated film. We reviewed we're going to review part two. I think I'll ask him if, I don't know if he's hearing it now, but I might throw that at him and see if he wants to review that. And review that comic. About a year or so ago, Mark and I did, we reviewed Justice, the great comic by Alex Ross. Elvira comics. I've seen them, and I don't know if I don't think I've ever bought an Elvira comic there, Bionic, but I've seen them. They do have some. And yes, she is fun. Well, I think I'm such a dork. I think back in the 80s, was it the 80s? They had that Elvira movie. I think I may have actually went to see that. I can't remember. No, maybe I didn't go see it. Maybe I just saw reviews of it. I can't remember now. Yeah, there's a good one, Phantom Outsider, because very soon, and I might want to do 20. I've been planning to do my top 20 all-time favorite comic stories. I might do that in 2 parts and then do like a mini review of each one of them. And then later just do them that's probably the best thing to do right there. Well, that's okay. You're doing great, Bionic. Any idea is welcome. Oh man. The 20, I bought some of those, I think. Pat S, if I'm thinking of what you're thinking of, the Tron comic for 2010. And I don't know, maybe it was a few years before that. So I don't know if I bought those or not. And I did buy a Tron comic book that came out. So I don't know. I'd have to look into that. And it may be a different comic that we're talking about. I know there was a series, but I can't remember the publisher's name right now that did that one. Yeah, it's going to be tough, but I've narrowed it. I did actually a guy and I did back in maybe 10, 12 years ago on the show, did our top 10 all-time favorite comic book stories. Narrowing it to 20 is not easy. But we did a top 10 so we could talk about each story more. 20 would be brutal, but I can do it. It's like top 25 movies. That was brutal. I'd have to look into those, Pat S. I'd have to find those and they're not easy to find. Tron, because I don't know. I can't even remember the publisher who put that Tron comic out. Hello. Just curious, have you ever read any of the Injustice Gods Among Us comics? If so, what do you think? I have not. Excuse me. I have not, Kal-El. I know a lot of friends really like them. I don't read a lot of modern stuff. I know that's relatively the past, I don't know how many years. I know there's a video game. But I can tell you that, and this is a personal pet peeve of mine, not in all cases. Some Elseworlds comics are okay. I really do like Elseworlds sometimes, but I don't like the evil Superman trope. I'm getting tired of it, and I don't buy into it. Even as an Elseworld, sometimes where Superman goes evil, I don't like superheroes going evil. I don't like it. I don't like superheroes going too dark, to be honest with you. And I don't like deconstructionism, as my friend Steve Mitchell was talking about earlier. But it's not deconstructionism if something bad happens to them and there's redemption later. In some aspects, though, what Miller did was deconstructionism for sure. And I can look back and go, yeah, I can see where that would be called that. But Born Again, as the comic says, he is born again. He becomes better. It is adding too much darkness, though, even Born Again. So I can see why you would call it deconstructionism. It definitely can be called that. So I guess my firm position on deconstructionism has evolved into, if it's still a good story, I'll give it a pass and I'll like it and I'll chalk it up to maybe not necessarily a good idea to do that, but if it's well done and a great story, such as Watchmen, such as Born Again, actually, I don't think Dark Knight Returns was a particularly good story, to be honest with you. For the most part, I have a lot of problems with it. No, that's controversial. So if a story is deconstructionist but still good, I'm going to say it's good. And Born Again, I'm kind of on the fence with it, as Steve would probably tell you. He's probably hearing me going nuts now. If we're going to go ahead and concede that it's deconstructionist, I think it's still a good comic. But I will say, so I'm going to go ahead and concede that point the more I think about it. I think it has a lot of things that most deconstructions comics don't have, like redemption. But nevertheless, good is good. And if I think a story is good, even if I don't really think it was a wise idea to make that story, I still have to be fair. And I love that story. And I love Born Again. But also remember back when that came out, I was a kid who didn't know what deconstructionism was. No one really did, other than Alan Moore, I guess. However, yeah, Miller's nihilistic, but I think Born Again has a lot of optimism too, though. Whereas Watchmen didn't have much optimism. Kingdom Come has some optimism. It's not necessarily deconstructionist either. So Injustice is pure deconstructionism and nihilism and carnage, and it's just here. It comes to a point where it's not really superheroes; they're just superpowered people with costumes, which is fine. But I'm more into superheroes. Bionic. I promise we won't cover those graphic ones. So I guess it's just like I love Watchmen, but I can still say was it really a good idea for them to do that? It was a great comic. It led to a lot of bad things. I love Alan Moore's run on Swamp Thing. It led to a lot of darker comics. It still doesn't mean it's not great though. Squadron Supreme. Michael Connor, welcome. It's good to see you. I need to reread Squadron Supreme. I need to pick up the trade on that. Belly Button asks, what do you think? What are your thoughts on the Hulk? I love the Hulk. Well, I also love the Hulk. But to finish up, before I continue with that, and I appreciate the question, Kel-El. I just can't. I really don't like it when it gets too dark and too nihilistic with superheroes. There have been some good stories with them, but even still, the evil Superman trope really gets on. I'm really sick of that and gets on my nerves. But I love the Hulk. Bionic Hulk is one of my favorite characters. He's in my top 10 all-time favorite characters. And I'm one of those weirdos that loves Hulk smash, childlike Hulk. He didn't start out that way. In his original appearances, he was kind of sinister, almost like a bad guy in some ways. And then later that developed, and he became more of the way he talked, he got more and more childlike. And then later, Peter David did all kind of very interesting things with him in the 90s, 80s, 90s, I guess the 90s. But he's one of my favorite characters. I love him. I love the Hulk. Let's see here. Injustice could have been reconstructive. Also, the story would have been better with the swerve that we're led to believe Superman went evil when it was actually Batman who went bad. See, I've never read it, so if something happened different, all I know is I heard he goes bad because of the death of Lois Lane. Well, that didn't happen. As much as I don't like Mark Waid as a person, in Kingdom Come, even the horrible thing that happened to Lois Lane did not turn Superman evil. It made him quit, but he came back at least, and it's a redemption story. And it's a story about heroism. Chris Persia, Clobberin, would you agree that if Snyder, and by the way, if you're new here, I hate Snyder. If you're a fan, that's fine, but I hate him. Was left unchecked. I mean, I hate his work. I don't hate any individual. Unchecked Man of Steel could have led to Injustice. Absolutely. Well, it did. Remember at the end of the Snyder butt? That's the same thing as Injustice, that ending. Planet Hulk or Gray Hulk run? I kind of like Planet Hulk. I thought it was okay. I wasn't big on World War Hulk. Now always keep in mind when you hadn't read something in a long time, your memories can play tricks on you. I thought Planet Hulk was kind of okay. I just don't like the premise. I hate what they did to Reed Richards and Tony Stark and T'Challa, I believe, and even Doctor Strange and all the heroes who conspired to do what they did to Bruce Banner. The story itself, I like Planet Hulk. I hate the whole premise of it. in terms of why they send them out into space. It made them villains. Again, it goes back to what we're talking about with Injustice. I hate turning superheroes into villains, or at least anti-heroes even. I don't like that. Superheroes, I think you can go too dark with them. And even if you do a great story, I can go Elseworld, just this is interesting. I mean, because I've read some, but usually you should do that with knockoff characters like the Authority, in my opinion anyway, or Stormwatch. I don't even look, I can't stand Ultimates, but at least that's an alternate universe. So, in Grey Hulk, Jeff Loeb's a hit or miss. That, again, it's been a while, but I thought that was fairly entertaining. If you like Tim Sale art on that one. If you're talking about that Grey Hulk limited series, Hulk Grey, if that's the one you're talking about, Punk Waddle, I'm not sure if that's the one you're talking about. Well, you know what? I would review. There's probably some Hulk comics I would like to review. D-Bud, I do love Thing Hulk fights. Guilty, buddy. When you met Cracker Jack. Yeah, I love those. When Hulk was just a poor, tortured monster. Now, see, there's an example. I love Future Imperfect. By Peter David and George Perez. There's a Hulk story you can get a hold of there. There's a trade. There were originally two issues in prestige format. Really nice, slick format. Wonderful George Perez art. That's a great Hulk story in my opinion, because again, it does show a Hulk going evil, but it's again, it's the Maestro or whatever, and it's still a great story. And you never know if it can change in the time, but that's a great story. And again, look, life's complicated. Multiple things can be true at the same time. You can kind of go, I wish they hadn't done that, but I got to admit it's good, that sort of thing. Clobberin Times, there's an awesome fanfic series combining the MCU with Lord of the Rings, in that Hulk is a representation of Bruce's resentment to his father, something MCU should have explored. Yeah, well, they got that from Peter David as far as the thing about Hulk's father, didn't they? My favorite Hulk run is the Ditko run and Tales of Astonish books. Great choice there, D-Bud. Underrated Hulk run. In fact, I don't know if I ever got to read all of that. How long of a run was that, D-Bud? But I'm sure you'll know. In my Injustice, Superman kills Joker because of Lois' death. But when classic lead goes the Injustice Earth, they're led to believe Injustice Superman went evil, but they try. Oh, continue there. Let's see. To free their Batman, Injustice Superman reveals that when he killed Joker, Injustice Batman lost faith in him and turned against him. The League siding with Superman making. Well, the Injustice, making the Justice League the superpowered underdogs against a smart Batman who knows their vulnerabilities and can exploit them. Essentially, Batman pulls Tower of Babel. Okay. Oh, yeah. Anyone else read Justice League Doom? Watch the animated film Justice League Doom. I really love it. I recommend Justice League Doom. I love that one. I'm totally with you about Millar on that one, MJ. MJ1 Media, I'm with you. Let's see here. Did I go back too far? I'm behind on the chat, everyone, but I'm trying to answer as much as I can here. So I love hanging out with you, and I appreciate y'all being here. By the way, for you, with the question about Planet Hulk, there's I thought fairly decent animated movie that's, of course, it's an abridged version of animated Hulk. I thought that was okay. If you want to, if you like animated films, which of course I often do, I thought that was all right. Chris Pershit, Can't blame you one bit, buddy. I kind of thought I kind of liked the Incredible Hulk. I think Ruffalo, much as a weenie as he is in person, is really good as Bruce Banner, though. Uh, it was really bad, and it really portrayed those guys in a bad light. Uh, let's see here, bop 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 bop. Especially since okay, I'll just have to catch back up with the sentence. Your Muslim uncle says Superman and Lois is darn good. I didn't like it too much at first, other than I got to see that wonderful outfit in the first 5 episodes. It was kind of but I kind of liked the show. Okay, that it's not. I have my issues with it, but I think it's okay so far. I'm liking it. I thought the Ang Lee and Eric Bana Hulk was a manifestation of pent up resentment of his father. Yeah, God, boy, that movie. Uh, yeah, I really did. I love Justice League Doom. Tower of Babel, absolutely. Yeah. Let's see. See, there's the thing, Phantom Outsider, that so many people refuse to accept. Um, Superman has to find a way not to kill. That's why he didn't even kill the Joker in Kingdom Come. Wade, for all of the problems I have with him, he understands that Superman shouldn't kill. Okay, Constantine City of Demons was a good animated feature. Okay, I have not seen that one. I have to watch that one. I'll definitely look at that one, Chris Berger. The reason my injustice is Batman go bad instead of Superman and the Injustice League is because most Batman versus Superman fights in media in recent years always portrays Batman good, Superman bad. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I thought that. Yeah, the animated Hulk adaptation I thought was all right. Let's see. Yes, Superman Lois is awesome. Superman is actually being Superman. Imagine that, by the way. That scene where he holds up the bridge in Hong Kong and Shanghai is a good callback to Christopher Reeve Superman. I'm with you there, MJ. I'm with that as well. Totally with you. That was a fun scene. And the show is definitely more faithful to actually being Superman. I'll tell you that much. Absolutely. I know Clobby doesn't like Flush. Yeah, I hate Flashpoint, but the 2013 Flashpoint Paradox was a good animated film and better than what Ezra Miller movie will be. I hated that film, and it ushered in the Screw 52. I think ruined the DC animated films. I thought that was full of all kind of horrible, nihilistic, horrible stuff for me, Chris. But if you liked it, that's cool. Man. I hated it. It was to me it was still absolutely repugnant. I mean, it's too much, just really horrible images. Wonder Woman's everyone's evil. You're gonna tell me just because a few screw ups with time, these characters who weren't evil are gonna be evil? I mean, Wonder Woman's a total horrible, monstrous murderer now. Ben, Oh, well, you know what I'm going to say about this one, Pat S. This is Hey, Jed's here. What's up, buddy? Pop Culture Archivist. Please subscribe to their channel if you have not. They're a good friend of my channel and everything. And of course, proud members of the Global Geek Gang. Best Fantastic Four, Spider-Man Silver Surfer cartoon recommendations. Well, season 2, remember the number 2, by the way, of the Fantastic Four cartoon from the mid-90s is my happy place in life, just about. Season 1 is bilge and horrific and garbage in my never humble opinion. But season 2, I just adore it so much. And when it comes to a Spidey cartoon, I'm kind of partial to the silly but fun 60s version. The Fox one was okay, I guess. I think it got really kind of bad later. I really like Spectacular Spider-Man, and I don't like that style of animation and art. And I got dragged kicking and screaming. There are only 26 episodes to see Spectacular Spider-Man. But if you can get past that and that catchy but weird theme song, and it's catchy, it's good. Spectacular Spider-Man, I would recommend. You've probably seen it. And there's only one Silver Surfer cartoon, even though he appears on an FF one a couple times, as you probably know, Pat S. The late 90s Silver Surfer cartoon on Fox is wonderful. I really do love it. Yes, there's a clunkiness to the origin because they couldn't have the FF. If they were going to do a second season, there was going to be the FF. I agree with that. I did not like Identity Crisis, Michael Connor. I thought it was, Brad Meltzer should be ashamed of himself for that filth, personally, in my opinion. If I had anything to do with the writing of Snyderverse, I would have made sure, as far back as MOS, that the reason the DC heroes were acting out of character was due to Darkseid messing with their origins. You know what I would have done? I would have not really even messed with Darkseid much till later. I would have had the Justice League fighting Justice League villains. Look, you got, for example, they're putting Starro in this upcoming was it Suicide Squad film. It may be fun, it may be good. Why do we see people are going, oh my god, it's so cool, it's Starro. Really? Why would he Starro should be a Justice League villain. Amazo, Despero. Darkseid, he's a New Gods villain. Yes, he did. He plagued the DC heroes. He did fight them later and all that stuff. But he's a Kirby creation for the New Gods. It's just, you could have had him been a looming big bad, but start with Starro. Start with I don't know. You could have a couple of other. I mean, there's some Justice League villains that should have come first. My favorite version of Christopher Reeve I love Christopher Reeve. I'm hearing my favorite version of Clark is Dean Cain. My favorite version, this is going to sound like this is old-timer stuff, Kal-El. I think my favorite theatrical or live-action Superman is always going to easily be Christopher Reeve. But it's weird. I love George Reeves anyway on The Adventures of Superman for the 50s. But I loved his Clark Kent, even though it was pretty much the same as the Superman. He was kind of cool and the goofy Clark Kent that Reeves did, I think it was a little goofball. A little too goofball. It was okay because I love the movies. But I kind of like the cool, collected Clark Kent by George Reeves. That's just me, though. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think we're going to solve the killing debate tonight, though. Stephen Thompson. Actually, comes to 75. What's so funny about Truth, Justice, and the American Way? That'd be a good one for a review. And by the way, speaking of DC animated films, that was adapted into a film called Superman versus the Elite, which I love. And back during the big after Man of Steel came out, and I wrote my long-ass review of it, I was telling everybody, Hack Snyder should have watched. Since Hack Snyder hates Superman, has contempt for him. If he wanted to see something about the true values of Superman, Superman versus the Elite has that. I really like that a lot. Pat S, go with the classics. The 67 FF, yeah, Spider-Man are the best. Yeah, the FF even has an adaptation of the Silver Surfer Galactus story. By the way, a year ago, my great buddy, the great Mark C, and I did a review of The Coming of Galactus. We reviewed, that's our second comic run that we reviewed. Some comic book saga that we reviewed. Let's see here. Yeah, I'd have had Starro personally. There are other villains you could have had. Look, I mean, it might be funny to see him. It's going to be hilarious to see him in Suicide Squad. I believe returning the tradition of JL starting a fall towards ice. Yeah, all because they thought JLA were silly, which they weren't. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, I just think that you should, they always, aren't they always doing that though? Putting the wrong villains with the wrong heroes. Yeah, I like when they would shoot Superman and then they would throw the gun at him and he would duck. I love it on the old show. Superman versus the Elite showed how dangerous and out of control Superman would be without Superman going out of control. Yeah, it was. I mean, there's a great scene in there. And again, it's been a long time since I've read the comic, but it's been a while since I've watched Superman versus Elite. I need to watch that again soon. But when he's talking about, they had all these. They're basically, it was sort of a rebuke of these superpower beings that aren't really superheroes getting famous and being confused with superheroes, and they were sort of based on the Authority, the old Warren Ellis Stormwatch, and the Mark Millar Authority, which I read. They were, they weren't superhero comics. They were about superpowered beings with funny clothes that were just not heroes. And they were killing people and all this stuff. And this kid was quoted, "I would like to be like these people because it would be fun to kill." And you had, Clark talking to Lois saying, "Fun to kill." Kids are saying it would be fun to kill. That's not what that's not what superheroes are supposed to be about. There's a great scene where Clark is just so disturbed that this kid has said, because of these unheroic jerks with superpowers, that glorifying killing your enemies, then that's not what Superman's about. Dean Cain once said in an interview that he based his Superman on Christopher Reeve's performance and this Clark Kent on George Reeves. Well, really? I didn't know he said that. Well, thanks. Cool. Well, I love George Reeves. I'll tell you that. To an extent, Christopher Reeve did try and incorporate parts of George Reeves, Clark Kent, including the four. Yeah. Well, the goofy part, he was a little more goofy than the more laid back Reeves, but that's okay. I love Christopher Reeves, so he's fantastic. Yeah, Batman Beyond was a good show. I'm with you. Let's see here. So there we go. Let's see if we got everything here. Okay. Well, that's good. Dean Cain's a good dude. I didn't watch that show a lot back then because it was called Lois and Clark, and I wanted to see a Superman show. I didn't like his costume that much, and but Terry Hatcher, oh wow. She's enough reason to watch anything, though. Well, there's an interesting question. Bionic, I've only ever, quote unquote, cosplayed once in my life. And he's sort of not really a superhero. And he sort of is. In 1996, I don't know. I can't confirm this. I can't prove it because it would be impossible to prove. But I may well have been the first person on the planet to cosplay Rorschach from Watchmen. But Rorschach's not exactly a superhero. He's, but close enough. He's a lot of things. I love Rorschach, but yeah. And that was Rorschach was really a comic before it was an ongoing series before it was compiled into a trade paperback. And there were only 2 issues of the comic book max out at the time. Maybe 2 issues were out of Watchmen at that point. So we didn't know where it was going to go, but I'd already loved Rorschach. So my friend Claude and I, we both we cosplayed. He was Captain Carnage, who's only mentioned in he's only mentioned in Watchmen. You never see what he looks like. So he made up his goofy costume. And I was Rorschach, and we went on the stage and performed a little dumb act, and he actually did most of the performing, and we won the costume contest at Dallas Fantasy Fair with that. Other than that, I don't think I ever cosplayed anything ever, or did a superhero costume. I don't think so. My buddy Steve Mitchum has done much cosplaying now, many costumes. Have you done any Bionic? Have you done any costumes? And if so, we must pictures, or it didn't happen. Just kidding. Let's see. Oh yeah, Sarah Hatcher was on a Next Generation episode, and she was in Tango and Cash too. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I actually love the second season. Oh no, maybe actually the third season. Of the Superboy series from the late 80s, early 90s with Gerard Christopher, because I love Stacey Hayek as the most beautiful Lana Lang there ever was. And they had some really good stories, and Sherman Howard was spectacular as Lex Luthor. Let's see here. I've never done one, but my brother-in-law agreed to go to Comic-Con with me next year, and I think I might do one. Maybe Nurse Chapel or a cosplay or a crossplay. No. Let's see. Bionic, you should let us pick your costume. Just kidding. Oh, wait, who wants to take a vote on picking Bionic's costume? Because Raquel is making a Dream Girl costume. I know a lot of people don't know who Dream Girl is, but Dream Girl is the lady you see up there with Raquel's name up and that's a picture of her. Ted Millich, good one. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, Bionic. Yeah, he's got tons of picks. He did a Batman costume in the 80s. He's done a great cosplay. He's done Captain America and Thor. Steve, I'm not sure which other ones you've done, buddy. Well, yeah, in my opinion, Michael Connor, I think that Stacey Hayek was more beautiful than. I'm nothing against Kristen Kruk. I was never the biggest. Please forgive me. I was never a big Smallville guy because I'm purist when it comes to Superman. I want my Superman, to I want my Superman to, wear costumes, and I'll let my Superboy actually wore a costume. So I was never the big Smallville guy, but last week, hey, when we did our top 25 favorite TV shows, Flash loves it, and he had it on his list. Yeah, Bionic. Now you know what you started, huh? We're all gonna try to pick your costume. I'm kidding. Whichever one you do, you will be lovely and wonderful in it. But so don't let anyone influence you, my dear. You do whatever costume you want. Well, I guess I should show a picture of Stacy Haydock as Lana Lang and see what you guys think. Uh, let's see. Is Lana Lang? Lana? All right. I'm always look when it comes to Superman. It may be unpopular, but I'm a Lana guy, buddies. I'm sorry. So let's look at Stacy. Oh, black suit Daredevil, cool. I did, oh yeah, I think maybe you should. I don't know if I've seen that picture or not. All right, everyone, here we go. Let me see here. I mean, if there's a Kristen Crook, nothing against her. Although I'd like to have something against her, but that's not the point. Um, let's see here. All right, let's see. All right. Stacy Hyduck, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to find a bigger picture of her. I mean, my God. Of course, I love me some redheads. We all know that. So, now, hey, Matthew Pounder, good to see you. There were actually some really good episodes in the third season of the Superboy TV series from that year. There were some great ones, I thought. But Stacy is just beautiful. I mean, oh my goodness, man. There you go. Ah, Stacy. Oh no, she's gorgeous. Sorry, Steve. Disagree. I think she's beautiful. I've always been in love with her. But I guess I'm just easy on redheads. What can I tell you? My Lana. Well, I tell you what, my friends, we've been here. I've kept you here a good long time tonight, and yeah, good Phoenix. Uh, and I just had so much fun hanging out with you as always. Oh, I love Terry Hatcher. Yeah. Oh yeah, Just Joe. I love Roby. Oh God, yeah. Oh, is Dee Dad Man? There you are again. Is Dee Myers here? Oh, there he is. There we go. Catman, aka Dee Myers. What's up, sir? Good to see you, my friend. Want to see the Supers because Alana Shaw from Double Impact is in one episode. Anyone who sees her in it. Okay. Really? You know, they had a great couple of stories about this alternate Earth. And I'll end up with this a little bit. Superboy, he has this friend, Dr. Winger, who has at this university, who has this created this portal to go to different dimensions. And he met, and he went to one, and they had an alternate version of himself that, Luther goes into the thing, and he chases Luther to this alternate universe. And well, put it to you like, I don't want to spoil it. Not that you'll ever watch it, but I thought it was great where Luther goes to this universe where in that universe, Superboy actually did kill Luther because Luther had murdered a child. And he, as he tells the story to his other Superboy counterpart, our Superboy, I just used my heat vision and sliced him right down the middle. But our version of Luther in the regular show went there, and everyone thought he became this religious cult leader because they all thought he'd come back to life. In the second part, they went to a planet where young Clark, and they went to a version where young Clark or young baby Clark was raised by a neo Yahtzee and became this, anyway, that was a good one. And they had another great one in the next season about Parallel Earth where, so the Parallel Earth ones were actually really good. The show was very cheap. It was the Sal Kynes, of course, but, Well, everyone, I tell you what, I'm going to wrap it up here tonight because I'm so glad to see you all. I feel like I missed a question that someone asked earlier that I wanted to answer, but I was on one of the other ones and I can't remember what it was. In fact, I'm sure there are quite a few. But I hope to have some sort of topic next Monday night. Well, Pat S. Sure. I mean, Pat, 24/7 Fusion Media is a good friend. I was about to actually mention him because he's going to be on tomorrow night. And there's, of course, links to his chat and many other chats, his channel and many other channels below. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, my friends. Thank you, Bon. I love seeing you here. I'm so elated to see you here tonight. I hope you will come back. I hope you pop in Wednesday and watch us talk about our team, doing our recap. In fact, I'll do that right now. Let's see. I don't have a card for it, but tomorrow night, let me get tomorrow night first. Tomorrow night, it'll be Loki's Comic Book Roundtable. I don't know what channel it's going to be on, but it'll be 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And of course, it all, as always, has our great buddy, the Fat Steven Seagal, our wonderful friend Eris of Chaos, our good buddy 24/7 Fusion Media. And again, there's links to their channels in my description below. And of course, the great, amazing Stone Loki. And I don't know who the guest will be, actually, but I'm sure it will be we always have a guest. And it will be fantastic. I don't even know whose channel it's on, like I said. But I do know that it will be amazing. And it's 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Comic Book Roundtable. Phantom Outsider said, my 7-year-old nephew waited on the new He-Man. After 2 episodes, he said, may I curse this Kevin Smith as an a-hole? He saw original He-Man, then the new. By the way, to all fans of that, I'm too old. I was not a fan of it, but I really do understand. Thank you, Stuart Mitchell. Thank you all for being here tonight. I do understand how you all feel, and I've had so many things that I love destroyed by idiots. And I'm so sorry that happened to you. What was done to you was wrong for you Masters of the Universe fans out there. I don't. Yeah, we're on 9 p.m. Central Time, Bionic. So I don't know, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, pop in when you can. Love to see. We'll always love seeing you. Mark D, what's up, bro? And anyway, and then Wednesday, our follow-up show to our top 25 all-time favorite TV shows with Flash. And so I'm looking forward to that. And, of course, the Global Geek Gang shall gather Thursday, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, as always. And then Saturday night, Star Trek, reviewing all of Real Trek with the most wonderful first officer of all, the extraordinary, the wonderful, the magnificent Raquel Aaron Briggs. I love you, Raquel. I know you're probably busy out there. If you hear me, I love you. And but you know that. And looking forward to that. Reviewing all of Real Trek, and we're in that first season of Next Generation right now. Wow, it's pray for us. And one thing coming up soon, August will be Jack Kirby month. I will be celebrating the King of Comics, as I always do on my show. All of my comic shows will be devoted to the greatest creative force of the 20th century, the great creator, the great artist, the man, the myth, the legend, the great Jack King Kirby. And so that is the month of his birth, and I will celebrate him. And, of course, August the 8th, Sunday, August the 8th, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, the 60th anniversary of the Fantastic Four. On the 60th anniversary of the first issue being released, the Global Geek Gang shall gather to celebrate my wonderful, beloved Marvel's first family, the Fantastic Four. So please join us for that. It is going to be a crazy, wonderful time. And so I can't even remember everyone who popped in tonight because I didn't write it down. It was just kind of a hangout tonight. Maybe next Monday we'll do it again. It'll just be me and you, or maybe I'll have a topic. If I can come up with a topic, I'll do it. If not, we'll just hang out. And I'll answer questions, and we'll just talk to you because I love talking to you all. You're all fantastic. Thank you, everyone who was here and participated. I just love it when you hang out with me. And I'm going to let you go and have the rest of your night now because I know I've kept you up way too late, all of you. But have a fantastic rest of the evening. Anyone who's out there, live long and prosper. And hey, Clobberin. And also big thanks to Stone Loki, as always, for this great intro outro I made for it. Good night, everyone.